Hey you guys, it's Drea. I don't know why I start all my videos off like that, but you guys know it's me, so hi. Today I am going to talk about consistency. Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. By the way, this was in red letters, so you know red letters means these are Jesus' words. All the words are important, but this one is like, I am. That verse overall just lets you know, like, hey, you have to be consistent. You have to seek God. You have to pursue God, and things will be added to you. And we're not just talking about blessings and stuff. We're talking about other things that God just wants to instill in you. So first, I'm just gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about a few things that you can do to keep up your consistency with Christ. The first is just what I did is reading the Bible. I know it can be boring sometimes. I know that it's probably it can come off as the most boring book ever, but it's not, but it helps you a lot. You learn a lot, you grow a lot in just doing that. It took me a while to be consistent. Even now I kind of struggle with being consistent with reading my Bible. I'm doing this thing where when I pray, I read at the same time. Whatever gets you into the groove of just doing those two things. You learn so much from reading. You learn so much from just meditating on the word and you don't have to try to remember them. When you read the word and you meditate on them, trust me, you're gonna go out about your day and something's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden a scripture verse is gonna pop up and you're just like, wait, how in the world do I remember that? It's because you meditated on the word. But yes, reading the Bible is so very important. Another thing to help you to be consistent in your walk with Christ is praying. Prayer does wonders. Prayer does a lot of things. When you take out the time to pray, it does so much. Like it really does. Whether it be just your time at work, like my time at work, sometimes I'm not angry or I'm not upset. Sometimes I just want to just pray. I want to talk to God. That's what prayer is talking to God. Then in my alone time, I want to be intimate. Like I want to have this intimate relationship with him where it's just really close. That's what I mean by intimacy. That's what he wants with us too. That's why he's always pursuing us, non-stop pursuing us, and he wants that in return, like for us to pursue him. So prayer is so important. You are what you hang around, or you start to become what you hang around. If you want to be more like Christ, hang around him more. My room is like my place where I do everything. I know people have closets and they use their bathrooms. It used to be the bathroom for me, but now it's my room. And I not only just pour out my heart, but I listen to what he has to say. I become quiet and I just him tell me like whatever is on his heart, because that's what he wants. That's the type of relationship he wants with us. He wants us to be able to talk to him freely, just like he talks to us freely. We all can hear from God, you know, just sin just made that hard for us. But if we keep on going and pressing towards hearing him, it can happen. You really are going to start to feel a difference when you pray more. Again, I don't mean just like, oh, there was a problem, it's like, oh, let me go pray about it. No. I mean, talking to him when it's bad, talking to him when it's going good, talking to him just to talk to him because he's your friend. My thing over this whole, just overall, my thing is that you're talking to him. You are spending time with him. You are pouring out your heart. You are exposing yourself to him, because he's not going to force himself on you guys. A gentleman. If he's still knocking on your door, he's not going to kick down the door. He's waiting for you to let him in and stuff, for anything for that matter. Another thing that can help you to be consistent with your walk is going to church groups. I know at my church we have groups that are called anchors. It's basically a mini group. During the week they have certain days where mini groups come together and go to meet up somewhere and, you know, just talk about, they worship and talk about whoever's speaking at the time, like talk about whatever God has put on their heart, or if they have a plan, you know, then talk about that. But yes, going to those are so helpful. I can't tell you, like, those groups like helped me so much. Even when I was going at one church at one point in time, and I started going to another, those groups were my lifesaver. So yeah, those mini groups, whether it be youth groups, anchor groups, HOP. I know at one church they call it HOP, House of Peace, or House of Prayer. I think it's House of Peace. Yeah, there's different things that you can go to. So another thing that will help you with your walk is hanging out with godly friends. Like I said, you start to become who you hang around, unless you are not easily influenced, and that takes a lot of maturing in order to even be able to do that. If God has called you to hang around certain people, to be an influence on them, that's completely understandable. But if you're just hanging around people, like you're a Christian, they're not Christians, and you're hanging around them. Let's say, okay, prime example, when I was younger, I used to hang around these girls. They would curse up a storm, and I didn't curse. I wasn't into that. I wasn't taught that. It's just never was a thing for me. But seeing that my friends did it, and it can't be that bad to just curse. So I tried it. I mean, literally, I remember being in like this gymnasium, kind of like a YMCA, but it was called a Boys and Girls Club. I remember talking to somebody, and then I think we were gossiping. I was like 12 or 13 here. I believe we were gossiping, and we were talking about some girl and how like just rude she was, and I was like, yeah, she's a effing B. Oh my gosh. It sounded so wrong, because even when it came out my mouth, it was like, did I just say that? But it took me to say like cuss words like maybe 2 or 3 more times in that one day for me to look at myself and be like, Andrea, stop it. It does not sound right. You do not sound good saying it, and it doesn't sound good at all. But just like, I would like literally, I would practice it. I go in the mirror and I would be like, BFS word, and I would try to say these things, and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, it just sounds and looks ugly coming from my mouth. It was just terrible. So yeah, that's a prime example of just being around friends that influence you. Yeah, I hung around them to where I developed their attitudes. They had such bad attitudes at times, not all the time, but I developed their attitudes. I started cursing for like one day and then I stopped. But for me now, I'm not easily influenced. And when I realize that I may be picking up something from, whether it be a Christian or a non-Christian, I catch myself real quick and I'm just like, okay, no more. The people that you hang around, your friends, it's so important. Iron sharpens iron. So they should be sharpening you while you're sharpening them. If they're dulling you, you need to step away. Okay, so we talked about 4 things on how to stay consistent. Number 1, read the Bible. Number 2, pray. Spend time with God. He wants to know you just as bad as you want to know him. Number 3, go to groups. Just like you go to church, you can go to groups. And usually between 6 and 7, that's the time that they start. So for all of you 9 to 5 people, you can make it. And number 4, hang out with godly friends. If you're not easily influenced, pray about it. Pray about it. Be like, God, if you don't want me around them, remove myself from them or remove them from me. That friendship or whatever you guys have, that relationship will be non-existent. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video helped you on how to stay consistent, because I know I had questions when I first started on how to really be consistent with all of these things. it takes time to practice because all of this is a lifestyle. When you're living a lifestyle and it's not a lifestyle that you're used to, you grow towards it, you learn. So this is part of learning. Waking up in the morning, praying, reading your word before you go to sleep, praying, reading your word. I'm not saying it has to be like that, but just an example. So again, if you guys have any questions or anything else, glad to answer them, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.